Hello! How are we doing? I am so happy and I feel so weird and it's so hot here. I don't know why. It's not winter, but I'm like I feel like I'm in Mauritius. The people that are feeling the cold in Mauritius, I'm with you. I'm so happy to be here in this setup after so long. I feel like it's been a month or a bit more than a month since we had another episode of the Canapcast. Because as you can see, I am not on the green couch, and yeah, the name Canapcast doesn't really make sense here. But I'm in my room, and this is the only moment I really have to actually record something. So we are making the best out of every minute. And normally, the next episode that will be out, I will be recording tonight with a special guest. I'm very excited for him to be on my podcast. Really, I've been looking forward to him. It's a very different setup. I don't have a fork. The fork of truth is not here today, simply because I don't know where I've put it. So, as you know, probably I've been the a guest speaker. Me with other nine missionaries, we were guest speakers for a crusade in Aklan, which the theme was Earth's Final Countdown. So I'm here to talk a bit about that. It's it has been on my mind recently. I felt like I want to share this with you also, people. To start, thank you for the support that I've got. Really, it was amazing. All the messages, everything. Like my family was so supportive, but also the friends of my parents. I've received the text that you sent to my parents about it. Yeah, they transferred it to me. So thank you so much for the support. Praise be to God. Everything was so good. I was assigned to a church, and the church was amazing. Really, I've met so many great people that I will miss from the bottom of my heart. For real, I will really, really, really miss these people. But as we said, if we do not meet here again, we will meet in heaven. Okay, we are living in this hope that we will meet in heaven. How it went? Actually, it was a hard time. Let's start there. It was a hard time simply because the enemy was attacking us so hard, and today I will speak for myself, but however, each one of us, we went through something different. Each one of us experienced something different where we can see that the enemy was doing everything to put us down and just to discourage us. And for me, it was working. Unfortunately, before going, I was like this with God. Like I was so strong in my prayer life and everything. And then when I go there, I felt like I was like, God, save me. Like at some point I was really asking God, why did you choose me to do that? Like, I'm way too weak to be able to do that. For me, it was really difficult to think about, preaching in English. But then God really equipped me for that, and I was able to do it. And I'm so happy because everything went so well. I had a great translator also. The translator was so good. He was really, yeah, copying my energy at some point. So that was so good. But then, on so many other things that I will not go into details in, we face trials and tribulations in ways that I cannot even explain or express, or really, it was really hard for me. And then at some point, I was calling my mom. I was about to cry, like, Mom, I don't know what I'm doing here. And even my dad, I would text him. My dad would text me words of encouragement. They would call me, try to check up on me, how I'm doing, and everything. And I would be like, guys, I don't feel okay. I do not feel okay. And I was praying because, when you go on the mission field, actually stepping in the mission field, because we are digital missionaries, we encounter trials and tribulations because we are helping people online. However, when you go out of the online and meet them face to face offline, it's something else. The enemy is way more present, and you just feel like, no, why are you here? Go away. Because you're trying to do God's work, and then the enemy is just trying to discourage you because he knows that the more that the word spread, Jesus is going to come back sooner. So, yeah, it's So it was hard. It was hard. So the first few days, it I was really struggling. I was really, really struggling with a lot of things. But then the amazing thing in this is that it was, I think it was Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, I was doing better, let's say, but still at night after crusade, I would feel this strong pain in my heart, um, where I really feel the attacks of the enemy. I can feel the spiritual warfare I was going through, and um, I really wanted to cry. I did not. The first night I did. The first night I was crying, sobbing, rejecting everything. I was sick. But the next days I did not cry. I just, hold firm onto God. And it really felt like God was completely silent to me, because I developed this kind of relationship with God where I can discern his voice. But there, I was seeing his hand work, but I was not hearing him. So it was like present, not so present God. And then in my mind, I was like, that's not true. Because I've been talking about that. The podcast talks about that. When you feel like God is silent, he's just right next to you. So I kept this in my mind. I'm not hearing you, but I see you work. I'm seeing you work, because the more I will preach during the night, the more my situation will get better, and the warfare and the struggles that I had will decrease. So I was like, God, I'm seeing you work, but please speak to me. The only time that I will hear God is when I'm preaching. When I'm preaching, the moment I grab this mic, I will get a power. It was really the Holy Spirit speaking through me and God speaking to me, where, I really felt like, okay, now I get it. God is here. But the moment I stop preaching, it's like I don't hear God anymore. And then at some point, I was just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And so bad to say this, because I was preaching every night while struggling. I was really struggling. And I know people of my church will say, "Oh, the energetic Anna," because when I preach, I'm really like, but then in my mind, I was struggling so bad. Like the spiritual attacks were so hard. So I was going there, smiling to people, socializing with people, and making friends and everything, preaching and praying for people. But then in my mind, I would be like struggling with my faith, because I was not hearing God. So it was stressing me out so bad. During this time, I remembered a story in the Bible. And this story, it was so me. Are you hearing the sound? I hope you're not, because I have the noise reduction on the mic. I hope. Is it on? Anyway, I hope you're not hearing it. This was really me. And I was focusing on really preparing my slides and praying for the success of the crusade, praying with my team, praying for one another, really more than actually speaking to God. So I was complaining of not hearing God. But at the same time, I was not really asking God to talk to me. Thank you, because the crusade went well, the preaching went well, everything went well, like everything is going perfectly fine. But I'm struggling, and that's it. That's just it. I will never ask, maybe God, please speak to me, reveal yourself to me. Like, and the word says, seek and you shall find. And I was not like, ask and you shall receive, and I was not asking. I was just complaining. Like, I was just complaining, Lord, I'm not hearing you, without asking. And then I love this hymn that says, standing on the promises of God. And I tell you, I was holding on to God during this crusade, holding on to him while struggling, but it felt like I forgot all his promises. So, middle week of the crusade, I read this in the Bible. I remember it was just the day before I had to preach for baptism. And baptism is really a delicate subject, because it's with that the person will decide if he or she will give his or her life to Jesus. So prior that day, it was, I think, Wednesday. Wednesday, I came across this. And it's, you can see it's very highlighted in my Bible. Like the highlighter knows the promise, but it felt like my heart forgot about it. It's the story of Peter. And I felt like Peter a lot. I felt like Peter a lot. It's the story where Jesus walks on water. Peter doubts. It really felt like me. I was holding on to God, but at the same time, I was doubting. I was like, God, this is just not it. I don't know what's going on. I was struggling. I was wanted to cry every single day, but everything was going well. I see God working. I see his hand working. I see how he's touching hearts of the people, but I was still doubting a lot. So if I take us from verse 27, it says, "But Jesus immediately said to them, 'Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid.'" Because they were afraid of seeing a ghost on the water. And Jesus says, "Do not be afraid." And immediately when I read this, I remember I started like shivering. I was like, okay, do not be afraid. I calm myself down and tell myself, Anna, stop being afraid. Stop doubting. It's okay. And then after, Peter says, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." And that was me. That was me telling God, "Lord, send me. I want to preach your word. I want to work for you. Send me." "Come," Jesus said. Jesus told me. Jesus sent me, right? Then Peter got down of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Guys, when I tell you that was so me, I asked God, "Send me. Send me. I want to preach your word. I want to go." And then when I get there and I see struggles and trials and tribulations, I start crying out to God. I start crying to him, "Lord, save me. Lord, why did you choose me? Lord." I was like, in a in a worry. I was afraid. I was struggling, worry, everything. And then I read this. I was Peter. In this mission field, I was Peter in all the possible sense you can imagine. I was just Peter. And then, but yeah, it says, but when he saw the wind, so when I saw the struggles, and when I saw myself, you know, starting to sink, I told God, "Lord, save me." Like, because I don't know what to do. You are the only one that can save me. And then immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him and said, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" The moment I read this on that day, I wanted to sew my eyes, bawl my eyes out, because it really felt like God is standing in front of me and say, "Anna, you little of faith, why are you doubting?" When this happened, when I read this, I was really applying this to my situation. Like, I was reading me. And, I like to say the Bible is so active and alive that it's the book that you read that reads you back. When I was reading this, it's the story that was reading me. And it felt, Lord is telling me, "Why are you doubting, you of little faith?" It starts with saying me, "Do not be afraid." And then after, "Why are you doubting?" So, yes, I was doubting. And when I read this, I immediately prayed. Firstly, ask for forgiveness for doubting, for being afraid. I'm sorry. Second, asking for sustenance, asking for the Lord to take control of every single thing that was going on. And I can say, Thursday, the day I was going to pray for baptism, was the day after the prayer, just after. So I prayed the night before. So Thursday, as from Thursday, it was the day I was completely relieved. And it was the day where every struggle that I had disappeared, really. And I was telling this to Pamela. Pamela is my friend there. We were together mostly all the time, and I was telling her, I see God answering my prayers. I see how He's working because the moment I stopped doubting and I really put my faith in Him, it felt like the wind calmed down, the storm passed. It was okay. And I had a very big struggle there. And that struggle really turned the other way around. And I was telling Pamela, it's insane how she changed. But how the situation changed. Um it's really insane. It's God. It's just God. I'm seeing God working. And then Pamela told me, yeah, that's incredible. Like that's sweet. The situation that happened and everything. And I was Peter. And then when I actually stopped, I saw God working. So I don't know what to tell you more. This is my testimony. This is the story of me in Aklan. But I just want to share this with you. If you are doubting today, do not, do not, just do not. It's do not. It just stresses you out. Jesus is telling you, it is I. Do not be afraid. And when Jesus says, do not be afraid, he is faithful. I promise you. He's faithful to actually handle the situation. So you do not have to. Do not worry. You of little faith, why are you doubting? Jesus is in control of everything. That's it. I don't have anything more to say. So, this is my prayer for you and I, that we can fully trust in Jesus and do not forget that Jesus loves you.